How's it going, everybody? I'm Cherokee Ronnie and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to go pick up the new project for the channel. So as you can see, we went ahead and got a JK Sport, and you know, that's hated in the Wrangler community. Not many people like the Sport. It's pretty much a base model, but for a base model Jeep, it's actually pretty nice. But there is parts, you know, galore for these things, and they're super cheap. Now I want to show you guys that you can build these on a budget. You know, building stuff on a budget ain't always bad. You know, you go out and spend, you know, $25,000, $30,000 on a, you know, Wrangler. Doesn't matter if it's a Sport or a Rubicon or whatever. You can still build these on a budget and still be very, very off-road capable. Now, we're not going to go to the extreme like we did with the Cherokee. Take your sway bar link off. Take your brake line bracket off up here and stretch this one down before you even drop the shock. Pull the shock off, and I had to pull this bump stop off, and you just leave it lay there. You can actually push down on the axle and pull the spring out. Push down on it, and comes right out. Should just slide right back up over there. We got the 3-inch lift on, and I was looking at fender flares, and the wider you go, the more they cost. So I'm not paying almost $1,000 for a good set of fender flares right now, but I was on YouTube and I seen where people were trimming them, so this is what I did to this side. I actually didn't trim the stock ones. A guy gave me these. They were just like, they were stock, not cut. He gave me a set so I can take the good set off, put them in the building. That way I'm not, you know, messing anything up. And if I want to go back to stock, I can put my original flares back on. But I just got another set of stock flares and I cut them like this. As you can see, there's a little trail damage on that one. But I cut it like that, and I cut my fender liner. I gotta pin up this wire, it unplugs. I'm gonna tape it up so water don't get in it. And I did the back also. And we cut the inner fender, and it gives you more flexing room, and it overall gives it a better look. So it looks a lot better. If you go over here, here's what it looks like stock. I'm actually taking a cutoff wheel and following this seam right here to the upper edge. And I do that on both fender flares, right? So, and when I'm done, there's a lot of plastic and stuff. I take a flap wheel and I actually clean the edge up, and I bevel the top and bottom. That way it looks stock and it looks good. It don't look all jagged and jakey looking. It's nice and beveled. You don't have to go to Advanced Auto and get that stuff to put on the edge. You can bevel it and make it look like that. So we're gonna go ahead and take the bumper off, put the other one on, but first you got to unplug these fog lights. Here's the bolts, both sides on the front and on the left side. Got them on the inside and the outer. The inside is a little bit of a pain in the butt. You're gonna need a swivel. I take WD-40 and I just go ahead and spray the outside of the bolts. They come off just a little bit easier. Then we go ahead and break them loose. And here's the swivel I was talking about, and you can get right in there. So go ahead and take the fog lights out of the stock bumper. And put them in the aftermarket bumper. I had to buy hardware because it didn't come with it. And here it is. It's on there. It's a stubby bumper, and it looks amazing. All right, this is the 2018 JK, the last JK's ever built. In my opinion, the JKs are the best Wrangler, the new Wrangler. I love the old Wranglers, but the JK is the one that I'd choose over any of them right now. But this is the budget build that we did. This is my daily driver. I have a Cherokee. It is a strictly off-road rig. If you haven't seen the build on that, there's tons of stuff on my channel. Go back and check that out if you're into Cherokee stuff. Tons of stuff we did to that Cherokee. But we did this on a budget. We bought a little budget lift. This was to get me on the trails and to drive to work or wherever I needed to go. And this is exactly what this Jeep does. I've done recoveries with it. I've been off-road with it. I've hung with everybody else. And the one thing that people don't understand is these things are a lot easier to modify and get off the ground than the Cherokees. But the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at is we got a rough country bumper, stubby bumper. I had to change it because the old bumper that I had, it was actually making this Jeep overheat on the freeway because there was no wind getting in there. So I got a bumper that tucks the winch under. I like to get a bar welded on here. I will do that in the future, but that is a rough country bolt-on bumper. These things are already on there. I hate them. Somebody glued them on. We went with Amazon headlights, so pretty sick. We went with a budget boost lift. It's just a puck on top of the springs, and it comes with all the extensions and all that. Super easy to put on. Still rides comfortably. I went with a Rubicon Express track bar and put it on there and adjusted it so the front end is centered. Some rock sliders slash steps so we can get in this thing because it's a lot taller than it looks on camera. We went with affordable off-road stubby bumper in the rear, an Amazon exhaust system. We did a spare tire delete. I carry the spare tire inside. Are running Taktic D-window 17-inch wheels from Quadratec, and we're running the Neaxen MTX tires, the Rodin MTX tires, which these things are beefy. The lugs are separated, and it'll be perfect for what I do because it's great for the snow, it's great for on-road and off-road. But it's strictly a mud tire, but it does all the other things great. A lot of people go with the Patagonias, but for West Virginia, those really don't work here, to be honest with you. So that's basically all we did to this Jeep, and it is super capable. We took it up the coal flats on Reesville. It's a straight up coal climb, and you go to the top and it flattens out. We've been over rocks, stuff that videos just don't do it justice. Like I said, go back and watch that adventure video that we did. A lot of that stuff is pretty steep and some big rocks, but the video just don't do it justice. So this thing is very capable just by what we done to it. Just by being on a budget, buying a JK, whether it's a 2007 or a 2018, as long as you can do a little bit of work to it and put 35s on it, this thing is very, very capable. And that was our goal, to take something nice like this and build it in your backyard like we did. We didn't do too much, and I'm actually happy with it. I'm happy with the way it does off-road. I'm happy with the way it drives on-road. And you couldn't ask for a better 50/50 Jeep. I drive it more on-road than I do off-road because that's what we have the XJ for. I'm super happy with it, and it's super easy to work on because it's just like a Cherokee, but just has a frame and it's a Wrangler body. It has straight axles under it, has coils in the front, and it has coils in the back. That's what gives it its nice ride, and it flexes up real nice. That's what I like about this particular rig, is it flexes up super nice, and it really articulates and gets you up over those obstacles. And I think that's where the Wrangler has an advantage over the Cherokee, because the rear leaf springs can only go so far. So whether you like Wranglers or not, this is a build that we did, and I do own it, and I'm very proud of this build, and I like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.